We got some huge news for Microsoft and Nvidia stock investors this morning as I saw the first cracks in this AI spending boom starting to form. Up until this point, all I ever heard about AI spending was that there's going to be more and then more is coming next year. Today, I'm seeing the first stall in that story. So let's take a look at this latest development and what it could mean for Microsoft and Nvidia stock investors.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So according to a TD Cowen analyst, Microsoft has canceled an unspecified number of data center leases amid the AI spending boom. Now, up until this point, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Amazon, and Alphabet have been increasing their data center spending to meet the soaring demand for artificial intelligence. And this is the first sign that I've seen from any of those large companies of a slowing down of spending on this technology. So Microsoft did respond to this note from the TD Cowen analyst and said that their plans to spend over $80 billion on infrastructure this fiscal year remains on track as we continue to grow at a record pace to meet customer demand. So Microsoft is the largest backer of OpenAI and has said it plans to spend $80 billion in capital expenditure in fiscal year 2025. Microsoft is also the largest buyer of Nvidia's AI chips in 2024, purchasing nearly 500,000 of its GPUs and contributing an estimated $20 billion to the chipmaker's revenue, according to a D.A. Davidson analysis. So that's where I make the connection between Microsoft's spending on capital expenditure and Nvidia's revenue. When Microsoft increases spending on AI, it's likely that a significant percentage of that spending is going to Nvidia. Now, the good news here is that Microsoft said its plans remain on track to spend $80 billion in 2025. But what remains under question is future spending. What about 2026 and beyond? Because 2025 is mostly locked in already. The contracts, the investments are already locked in. But what investors were curious about is 2026 and beyond. And this is the first sign that I'm seeing from any of these large cap companies that maybe it's not going to increase by all that much in future years. Okay, so one of the bigger stories for those large cap tech companies that were spending so much money on AI was they had demand that exceeded supply. In fact, I just recorded a video that should be coming out in the next couple of days about how Alphabet, which is also one of the largest spenders in this category, said they have demand for AI that exceeds its supply. And they said that just a couple of weeks ago. And so this news here, according to TD Cowen's analyst Michael Elias, is their initial reaction is that it's tied to Microsoft potentially being in an oversupply position, which is the shocking news, because all I've been hearing from Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, and others is that demand is soaring so much that they can't keep up with that demand, that they just don't have enough supply. And so this is the first I'm hearing of a change in that story. Of course, in the latest quarter, which ended December 31st, Microsoft's additions to property and equipment totaled $15.8 billion, and that was up from $9.7 billion in the same quarter in 2023. On an annualized base, this would be over $62 billion, and it makes sense because they're ramping up to $80 billion in spending in this category in 2025. If I zoom out a little bit and add more companies, you can see the capital expenditures over a trailing 12-month period for the big cap companies, Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, and Amazon. And you can see this big surge in spending here since late 2023. You can see that with all of the players here. You can neglect this part here for Amazon in 2020. This was Amazon's capital expenditures to meet the soaring demand, because remember, lockdowns created a surge for Amazon's e-commerce business. So that was that part of the boom. And then the part of the boom for Amazon for AI started in 2024. You can see that resurgence here from Amazon. Amazon said it's going to spend over $105 billion in this category in 2025. So all of these companies, look at the surge. None of them had spending over $25 billion in this category before 2022. And now they're all up in the 50s, $40 billion. Meta Platforms was $37 billion in the trailing 12-month period. And they said they're going to increase that number to $65 billion in 2025. Meta Platforms is on the lower end, where Alphabet has said they're going to spend $75 billion. Microsoft said $80 billion, and Amazon said $105 billion. So all of this had been great news for Nvidia stock investors and all of the companies in that whole data center AI ecosystem. And this is the first real noticeable crack to this boom, to this spending boom. Now, it may be just Microsoft that is experiencing this. It's a little early. I'm sure when Nvidia reports earnings Wednesday, February 26th, after the markets close, they're going to be asked about that. What do you see in terms of market demand beyond 2025? Because Nvidia said they are sold out for 2025. And so that's a big question that they're now also going to get asked. They were probably already going to get asked that question, but now it's even more apparent, even more important because of this news coming out of Microsoft. And then, of course, earlier in 2025, we got the news from the Chinese AI company DeepSeek that was able to deliver the AI model at lower cost, which created the initial decrease in Nvidia stock price, and that question mark remains. So we're starting to see some question marks regarding the longer term spending in this category. But I would say it's too early to jump to conclusions and say that they're not going to experience a boom for at least the next several years. We'll learn more about this when Nvidia reports quarterly earnings results. Of course, I will provide coverage on Nvidia's earnings. I will have multiple videos analyzing Nvidia's earnings results and their conference call when the CEO will get asked these questions. I'll report the results of those questions and answers and what it could mean longer term for Nvidia and Microsoft and the AI marketplace overall. Hey everyone, so many of you have been asking about my investing strategy, and I'm excited to announce that I've written a book that's available for sale now that describes my 6-step investing framework for evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.